Welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, and of course your favourite show, and we bring you the very best of rugby action in and around Cape Town. And we touch on some national rugby and, of course, every now and then a little bit of international flavour we bring into the mix. On the panel with me this evening, we're focusing a little bit on the Community Cup. And Morgan Newman.
How's it, chaps? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the rugby, getting out there, a lot more action on the weekend, so yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, same this side. We've now started, Community Cup has started, so yeah, full swing and looking forward to the rest of the season.
And the man who's been coaching the Community Cup, and of course no stranger to Cape Rugby also, Anton Moorman. How are you, Moniz?
Oh, Jay, yeah, very well. Good to be back and looking forward to the rest of the show.
I noticed you had your whistle on, so you're obviously getting ready to go coaching, or you are, which means that you'll be coaching at about 10 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, you've just come from practice.
No, I've just come from practice.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a good session.
Fantastic stuff. We're going to start off, of course, straight away with the Varsity Cup. The Varsity Cup's now been in full swing for a number of weeks. Of course, the FNB Varsity Cup and the Varsity Shield now starting to draw towards a close now. We've got some idea of who's going to make it into the top, into the finals. It's been an interesting Monday, to say the least. It did unfortunately not go the way for UWC, the way that I would have liked it to go. The fans were out there. They were out there in droves, and I must say I was quite impressed with the amount of Fort Hare fans that were out there also on the day. So Fort Hare and UWC, we're going to touch on that a little bit later. Let's take a look now at the results in the Varsity Cup. Shimlers against NMMU, they went down by, at least NMMU went down by just 1 point, 34-33. And then Marty's beating Tuks 41-24. Puka, well, they went 4 points up over UJ, 24-20, and UCT beating Wits 25 points to 5. Right, gentlemen, let's analyse some of those results there. Shimlers 34-33 against NMMU. A 1 point difference there, but both sides coming out a little bit equal there, Morgs.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot in it for Shimlers. I mean, they really needed to come on, and get a result and hope that Marty's don't get the result that they wished for. But yeah, I mean, look, NMU now, they're playing in the semi-final this coming Monday, so it's gonna be interesting.
The graph certainly has been going up for Marty's. It's been a bit of slow poison, but they're getting stronger and stronger by the week. Yeah,
look, we spoke about it for the last few weeks. Yeah. The Cape Town sides have started slowly, but they're in it now, and they're playing in a semi-final against one another this coming Monday. So it's going to be interesting, and yeah, obviously I'll be back in the bush of Stellenbosch.
Yeah, they of course had a good win against Tuks. Mullies 41-24 against Tuks in the FNB Varsity Cup. Marty's will be happy with that result. I mean, that's a big margin.
Yeah, I think fantastic for Stellenbosch. As Morgan said, they've improved during the tournament after what was pretty much an horrendous start.
Yeah.
And hats off to Chris and the rest of his coaching staff for putting the boys together. And it's great to have two Cape Town universities in the semi-finals. Unfortunately, playing against each other, so it won't be an all Cape final. But it's going to be a hell of a tough tussle. UCT have undoubtedly been the form varsity from the Cape, and I think it's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I think Kevin Musican has certainly made a difference there. He's come in guns blazing, so to speak, and they win 25-5 over Wits over the weekend. It takes a bit of settling down in the first couple of weeks, but you come from a background with as much rugby experience of guys like yourself and Kevin, both coming from a strong club rugby background and putting the structures in place. It takes a bit of time to settle in, but once you start getting it, the rhythm is there.
Absolutely, I think Kevin's really he's a coach who does his homework, and not only homework in season. I'm talking about off season and with his recruiting. He's definitely strengthened the UCT pack, who were vulnerable in last year's Varsity Cup, and he's got a hell of a big a team ethos off the field.
And of course, Chris Rousseau, with all his experience of on the field and off the field, he's doing fantastic for Marty's. So Marty's and UCT doing well for Western Province and representing nicely in the FNB Varsity Cup. So let's hope that they go from strength to strength in the upcoming games. Let's catch some of the image highlights in the match now. Marty's against Tuks. Certainly looks like there was a lot of action there at the game. Of course, the fans, that's what they come out for. They don't only come out for the entertainment. I mean, at least for the rugby, they come out for the entertainment. And heavens alone knows the F&B Varsity Cup, that's what they specialise in, is entertainment. Never seen an organisation in South Africa, excuse me, work so hard on making sure the crowd entertainment is completely sorted out. It's amazing on the side of the field, because I'm the MC at the UWC game. And Morgs, I tell you, every single game is organised from early in the morning through to the entire day, from the jerseys to who must fetch the tickets, to who must fetch the gazebo, to who must do the credo, the anthem. The sequence of events is perfectly coordinated. It really is a fan experience.
No, it's an extremely well-oiled machine. I mean, I was lucky enough to play in the Varsity Cup a few times, and I mean, it's really the closest thing you'll get to professional setup. It really is, you know. I mean, from the traveling arrangements to, like you say, the run of events in the day. No, it's a well-oiled machine, and it's good to see. You know, I think it's a good taste for the youngsters to get before they hit the big time. Yeah,
and I think one of the what some of the universities still have to work on a little bit is developing a kind of a culture that maybe some of the other universities are pretty good at. I mean, if you go to Marty's, they've got all them songs sorted out. The guys have got one song after the next. The crowd is really behind it, and they know how to sing. It's a little bit like going to a football match in England. It's all organised and sorted. Not that you'd be singing much after being a United fan, but you know, as a that is what turns it on, is that history of the university. We see it at the schools as well. The schools that bring in that sort of entertainment factor adds a massive vibe.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, to be a player, to be a fan, just to be involved in the Varsity Cup is something special. And you know, when it finishes now in 3 weeks' time, and it really is, you know, people really miss it. So you know, long may it carry on. And I would love to see the same thing happening in club rugby for the rest of the season, because there's no reason why Marty's versus Belhar at Donny Craven can't have the same amount of gears and people and
absolutely, 100%. Yeah, and I think that's where club rugby is going. We're starting to see more and more administrators and fans who are involved with the games and putting on the club games, especially since there's been TV for club games, create more excitement on game day. You know, if we go back to the little starting off small, people don't realize where this is going. We started off maybe with a couple of photographs and we're going on Facebook, and then there's little newspaper flyers and posters and things, and these things are what the clubs are starting to do. So anyway, we'll talk more about the club scenario because the league's obviously coming up soon. We'll talk more about that in a couple of seconds. Let's take a look now at some of the action shots. Wits against UCT. Couple of action shots, and as we're saying, it's all entertainment galore. Let's look at the fixtures now. This is it. This is where it's now at. It is UCT up against Marty's this coming Monday, and then of course at 7 o'clock it is Pika against NMMU. Looks like UCT's got home ground advantage there. Morgs, am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Marty's don't travel very far, but they come down to Cape Town and they play against UCT, and yeah, I mean that's as big as it gets, you know, at the Varsity Cup level. So it's going to be an interesting one, and hopefully I can get down there and watch some good running rugby.
Well, kicks off at 4:30 on Monday, folks. So if you want to check out some really good rugby, go and watch UCT against Marty's. They're playing at the Green Mile, which is of course the nickname for UCT's upper field. Am I right?
Yes,
the Green
that's
Mile.
right.
How difficult will it be for Marty's to be playing at UCT?
Look, the Green Mile is a torrid stretch. I was chatting to Clint van Rensburg, who's the assistant coach at UCT on the weekend, and I don't think they've had a game there this year where the wind hasn't been blowing less than 60 kilometers an hour. So you know, it's really a game of two halves, and it's almost a 20-point type of wind. So you know, when you're with the wind, you're playing for territory. When you when you're against the wind, you're keeping ball in hand and just trying to survive. So it's going to depend on the conditions. I think if we have a perfect Cape Town day with no wind, with Chris as the coach of Stellenbosch, I'm sure we're going to be in for a hell of an exciting running game. I know that Clint has done quite well with the UCT backs as well.
Yeah.
If the wind's blowing, well, then it's going to be a battle of flaws and see who can put his team in the right position.
It's interesting, you know, I got another perspective on that the other day, and being at Milnerton. Now, Ishmael Dolly is not here with us today. Of course, it was an incredible day. We're going to talk about the Milnerton Rugby Day in a couple of minutes. But after the game, I had a chat with his father. Now, Milnerton blows. If you ever played in the Milnerton golf course, you'll know it blows. And it's almost impossible to put a ball in, a long ball, in straight in the line out because the wind is just going to grab. You have to sort of aim it out there and fade it back in, kind of thing. But what Ishmael Dolly's dad said to me at the end of the day, or after one of the games, was, it's not always that bad. Sometimes the wind can play to your advantage because you tend to not kick it away. You tend to protect the ball more often and not take risks. So there is another dynamic to it.
Absolutely. There is always that dynamic, and you know, UCT are always extremely dangerous into the wind. They do like to give it air, but you know, when the wind's coming through at that kind of angle, the risks go up.
Yeah.
And if you make mistakes, you're going to get severely punished. So you've got to really weigh up. You're talking about semi-finals.
Yeah.
You know, finals are not won by massive margins. It's normally your defence that's going to end up winning the game for you. Flav, I think Dean Grant's the fly for UCTs and next Marty's boy himself. You know, he's had a really good trot for them this year, and I think the youngster from Stellenbosch, I think, has got 2 or 3 man of the match awards. I'm not too sure what his name is, Morgan.
Robert Dupree.
Robert Dupree, yes. Yeah. I keep wondering if the original Robert Dupree has made a comeback. But anyway, let's look at the Varsity Shield now. So yeah, that's it, folks. Get on to UCT on Monday night. They take on Marty's. Go and check it out, and hopefully if there's no wind, you'll have a great time. Anyway, you're going to have a great time. It is the FNB Varsity Cup semi-finals, and then there's a bye, and then of course we'll know who's in the finals and within the next 2 weeks. Varsity Shield then, of course, on Monday night at least, it was UWC up against Fort Hare, and we'll see the results there. It didn't go in the UWC's favour. They lost 51 points to 29 at home ground. And then, of course, TUT went down to KZN, 54-24. So the kind of similar margins there for both of those sides. But I tell you, Peter de Villiers will be very, very disappointed because, you know, Mullies, you were talking about mistakes and risk factors. And the wind was blowing a little bit on Monday night, but it wasn't that bad. But there were at least two or three tries that were and we've spoken this, and we saw it in the Stormers game. We could have won that game as well, but we talk about making the wrong decisions at the wrong time, taking a kick, and maybe it's just too slow and getting charged down and there's a score. And at least 2 or 3 of the tries were scored like that against UWC because they did have a little bit of momentum. They were going to make a comeback, and that small little change in the game with a kick, and all of a sudden there was a charge down and the try was on. How do you get the players to not make those kind of decisions?
You know, that's it's going to come down to coaching, trying to put players into situations where they've got to make right decisions on the training field. And it's just continual communication and a player's growth.
How do you do it, Mullies? I mean, Morgs, how do you do it when you're playing? When do you know not to kick?
Well, look, I mean, I think it comes, we've probably used the word experience. It comes with a little bit of experience, having been in the position before.
Yeah.
I mean, I can guarantee if UWC put themselves in that same position the next Monday, they won't make the same errors, you know. So I think it comes with just the repetition, like Mully says, I think repetition on the training field, and then obviously in the game, you know, experience of having been in that position before and knowing what you did wrong, what you did right the previous week.
Well, there's not going to be another week for UWC to make that comeback in the Varsity Shield, but a lot of entertainment, I must say. Well done to UWC for scoring for the first time that I've seen it in the 2 or 3 seasons that I've been helping out at the Varsity Cup now. Well done to UWC for scoring during the Rugby That Rocks period, which is, of course, the 2 or 3 minutes after the strategic break, which is when the pink ball comes on, and any tries that get scored then, the sponsors all donate money to the charity of choice of the local university, if the local university scores on during that time. So UWC scored at that time, and of course the charity of choice for UWC is the Sarki Bartman Foundation. Now this is all falls in line with the Keep the Aggro on the Field, which is about the support against women and child abuse, and the Sarki Bartman Foundation is the UWC charity of choice, so they've got a nice bit of money coming their way. So I think win or lose in terms of the points on the field on the day, UWC certainly came away with being a victor and are going to be able to go down to the Sarki Bartman Foundation, which is in Athlone down at the bottom of Klipfontein, and they'll be able to hand over a nice big check. And I'm sure that's going to go a long way to continue with the support, the good work that the Sarki Bartman Foundation is doing. Let's take a look now at some of the action shots in the match. UWC up against Fort Hare. Yep, by the way, it looked a little bit strange on the day there, but you might have seen that Fort Hare was actually playing in UWC jerseys. That's the UWC strip. Unfortunately for UW's athletes for Fort Hare there, some airline managed to lose the jerseys. Anyway, that is of course the end of the Varsity Shield, and well, at least at the end of the run for the Varsity Shield guys for UWC, and unfortunately, that's just how the bounce of the ball goes, so to speak. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back after the ad break, we'll start taking a look at what happened at Milnerton over the weekend. It was a fantastic day of rugby. Ishmael Dolly was there, him and his team, and we'll tell you more about that in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is Cape Rugby TV, and with me, of course, on the show this evening is Hamilton's former Stormers player and Western Province rugby player Morgan Newman, and of course Hamilton's coach Anton Moorman, who is currently captaining, at least coaching the Hamilton side in the Community Cup. Of course, Hamilton's is the only team for Western Province that is flying the flag for Province in the Community Cup this year. Personally, we of course need to support Hamilton's as much as we can, because the Community Cup needs as much exposure as possible. Now, the big event which got a lot of exposure over the weekend, and certainly was there for a good cause, and it was a nice, entertaining day of rugby, was at Milnerton over the weekend. Ishmael Dolly and his team of people at Milnerton, like Nolene Oosthuizen, the guys really put a world-class show on there in terms of making sure that it was a good rugby day. Primrose was out there, Vineyards was out there, the Cape Rugby TV team, of course, played against a Milnerton side, also put together just on the day. And I must say, big thanks there to Bom Samai, who was captaining the side, and his experience, of course, paid off. But I tell you, Morgs, it was actually really good fun. You know, once again, the Cape Rugby side had never met each other. They arrived on the day to play against each other, and they certainly started scoring the points. And it was played just purely off skill and just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a typical Barbarian style, team that we put together. The guys played in their club socks, and yeah, they never met each other, but they came together. And yeah, it's sometimes it's nice to let your head down and just throw the ball around and express yourself on the rugby field. So a lot of guys did that.
Well, let's catch up with some of the highlights from the game.
looking good for the season.
Good game.
Hard. We had a good game tonight and I think the boys done well.
Went well.
Yeah, it was good under the lights.
I think you guys will play a great brand of rugby. It's going to be a good test for you in Super League. Believe me, there's some tough teams, but I think you can hold your own. And you can look forward to a very good season.
We did alright. I went so well, but we did good enough.
Yeah, I think tonight was a tough experience for us as Unimal Milnerton. I think the boys held their own, but hats off to Primrose. I think they very underestimated team. I think our boys can only learn from this. It's 3 weeks before we start our league games. Looking forward to the new season and the new club season, and hopefully our first game is against the Lowlands, and we'll prove that we deserve to be in this competition.
Yep, well done there to Primrose. It was a good win for them against Milnerton. Of course, the guys just testing the water so far, but interesting to see some rather skilled players. The guys are moving around now. Gafoor Lakuan is playing for Primrose. We see Vivian Fredericks is playing for Milnerton. So a little bit of movement going on there, Morgan.
Yeah, no, Ish definitely did his, like you said about Kevin, I think Ish definitely did his homework pre-season, and he's got some good players as well as Primrose. So I think it's going to be an interesting year of club rugby with all the guys that have moved around to, I think the likes of Gafoor to go back to SK is going to be interesting, and Vivian to go back to Hands and Hearts. I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. I think the registration phase for moving is closed now. You can't move anymore now if you've played a club game.
15th of March was the cut-off.
It's cut off, so that's it.
Don't forget that AD Jacobs was a Hands and Hearts boy.
Yeah.
So he's probably got Vivian and the likes down to join him and Ish. And I mean, Milnerton have always got a great vibe, so I'm sure the guys will enjoy it down there.
Well, I tell you where we did have a great vibe was the Cape Rugby side came out there, Morgan. As I said, they just threw the ball around and in fact started doing pretty well. They were up in the beginning and had scored a couple of great tries, and again just playing off skills. So very impressed with the guys. But it was the last 5 minutes that they just let their hair down and started throwing the ball around without any pressure. There was no rules, there was no worrying about the error rate or anything of the sort. And in the last 5 minutes, they scored 2 quick tries and they were ready to make a comeback. So it just goes to show sometimes if you let the players go without the coaching, just let them go. I know it's risky, and Woolies will probably disagree with me on this one, but every now and then if you let the guys go, they'll pull a rabbit out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, when you let a guy express himself, then sometimes you see things that you didn't know you had inside of him. So, often in South African rugby, we get coached into so much structure, but when a team like this comes together, it allows the guys the freedom to express themselves.
Yeah, now a guy like Bomsema was captaining the side, and of course we had Rikus Binneman who was coaching. He was coaching the side instead of Jean de Jong, or in Jean de Jong's stead. Jean de Jong was going to coach the Cape Rugby side, and he was, of course, AD Jacobs was going to coach the Milnerton side, and folks were unfortunately, well, not fortunately, but fantastically, Jean de Jong got called back up to the Stormers to go on that side. So they had to find a new coach, and Rikus Binneman stood in there. Mullis, you'll be happy to know that at least a quarter of the Cape Rugby side were made up of former Hamilton's players. So I think if you have any need for more guys, have a look at the Cape Rugby side, because they're now getting called up to the Limpopo Bulls, to the Vodacom Bulls, and they're maybe getting into the Western Province 7 side, and possibly might even come play for Hammies.
Well, I think a lot of them are current Hammies players. Our second team was off on the weekend, so you really benefited.
All right, yes. Let's take a look there at the highlights now in the match. Cape Rugby TV up against Milnerton.
You're gonna have to keep the ball tight, nice and short passes, quick taps is the name of the game.
Very important. I can't believe it. We're much fitter than these guys. Guys, looking really good.
Cape Rugby! Yes!
This is the Cape Rugby side up against Northern side, all right? And incredibly, they only met each other today for the very first time. Ishmael and Rikus, and to the guys here, fantastic game. Really, it was incredible. Throwing the ball around and just like showing natural skills, and that's what club rugby is about. Well done, guys! Absolutely amazing. What a great day. Morgs, but we won't have this opportunity during season. I mean, I think this must be one of the first times this has been done in the history of Western Province Rugby. We have like a barbarian team coming together under the Cape Rugby banner. It's good fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's, a lot of these guys are training. I mean, Willis will tell you a lot of them are training, but they're not getting much game time. So, they all opted the opportunity to play 80 minutes. And I mean, to throw around the ball in Baba style rugby is any player's dream. I'd love to go and play for a team that's just, no rules and regulations. So, yeah, it's good to see.
What do you think, Willis?
No, I think it's great. During the year we fought it out against each other. Yeah. It's great for that one moment to run up there and all the clubs come together and a couple of players from each, and you get to meet new guys and so next time you go play against them, there's a little bit of a maybe an on-field and off-field camaraderie that's built up in between the clubs. I think it's fantastic. Yeah,
I think that that little Cape Rugby TV team's culture is going to keep growing, and hopefully we'll add on sponsors and maybe there'll be some mementos for the guys to take home with them. Maybe at the end, in the long run, once you've played in the team, it can be sort of embroidered with your jersey. You get to take your jersey home. I mean, there's so much stuff we can come up with here just to have a lot of fun with us, Ashok.
Oh, look, I think it's fantastic. I think that For club players, the guys love kit. They're all amateur, so for them it's about those mementos, and for them to be able to keep a jersey or socks or just something that is special that they can treasure. I think it's great, And if you've got that club select side or that barbarian side, the Cape Rugby TV side, I think it's fantastic.
Maybe we'll get the guys to autograph this jersey even, and we'll auction it off and we'll give it to a charity, the money. Yeah, and so a lot of ideas we can come up. We spoke to the coach of the side who stood in the day for Eddie Jacobs, Rikus Binneman, and of course the captain, Bom Samai, who was an absolute legend on the day. Right, folks, I'm here with Rikus Binneman. He was the stand-in coach today for Springbok and Stormers centre Jean de Jong, who was supposed to coach the Cape Rugby side. With an absolute joy. Rikus, how does it feel like to stand in for a Springbok centre and put together a team the night before?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a privilege. Big boots to fill. Absolutely a privilege to coach these guys. I mean, guys from all over clubs, and I mean, to practice just the hour before. I mean, great show, definitely great show.
It's like a barbarian team.
Yeah, that's what we set out to do. Keep it open, barbarian style. That's what we aim for, and the try showed.
The guys got some skills there.
Some major skills. I was actually quite surprised we were fitted in them. So yeah, well done to the guys. I take my hats off to them. Thanks for Militant, great club. Yeah. Seeing some great things for them for the future.
Well, listen, thank you very much. Standing in for the KPs, as we call the boys. Yeah, great fun, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Bom Samai. He was the captain of the Cape Rugby side today, the All-Star side. And he is an All-Star himself, Western Province Rugby legend, travelled the world playing rugby. Bom, slightly different team today.
Yeah, like I said earlier to the boys and stuff, we were unprepared in terms of organisation within the team.
You could have had 15 minutes more.
You had to come earlier. Yeah, like I said, so we were unorganised, but like I said, we all rugby players, we know the basics, and there's lots of factors that played a part. But I mean, like I said, we're all rugby players, and we know the basics, so we can play rugby.
And it's,
and
but I mean,
we actually started off well. Probably the tiredness coming in.
Yeah,
the older guys also, they're fading a bit. But the last 50 minutes, we showed that we can play rugby, and I think it was a good display of rugby.
It's quite incredible when you've got talent on the field and you let the guys express themselves what you can do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We said before the time we're going to play Barbarian style because we just got together, throw the ball around.
Yeah.
But with the same saying that we obviously need to keep that basics going, the structures if we should. But yeah, I think the boys had a jaw, and we could see in the last 50 minutes.
Good thing there's this thing called rugby. Eh?
Yeah, no. That's how I just told him as well. The bigger picture is also that we build that camaraderie, friendship within the team as well, getting together one day, and tomorrow we know each other.
Well, my man, congratulations and welcome to the Cape Rugby TV team. Not just the jersey, but the team, our whole culture of Cape Rugby here. So no, it's great to have you.
Thanks a lot, and good luck with the future with Cape Rugby, doing the things for club rugby.
Look at him, he's being all humble, folks. When we got guys like this behind us with Cape Rugby, we can't lose. Here we go, shot ball. Nice Bom being back in South Africa, and he's done his rugby travelling, and he's back in the mix here in Cape Town. And I think it's nice to have guys Morgs that have travelled overseas. They've got first-hand experience of what rugby is like over there. He's come back here and he's starting to give some advice to local clubs. I know he's helping out at Rangers a little bit, and quite often we sit on the side of the world and we think we know how the rest of the world operates until you go there and you get first-hand experience. You come back and you go, hang on, it wasn't all the way that everybody told me it would be.
No, I mean he's an old name now in club rugby in Western Province, and yeah, he went away and he played in Wellington, New Zealand for a while, and he's come back now and he's obviously imparting his knowledge on other guys around him. So it's good to see, and I think more guys should do it, because they do, like you say, they do a lot of things overseas that we don't necessarily do in South Africa, and vice versa. Yeah,
I noticed Boom speaking with a little bit of mate there, mate. All right, mate, we're going to mate. We're going to play 5/8, mate. Half back and all that, mate. Boom. Dig the Kiwi accent there, buddy. Was it a Maori accent? I'm not actually sure. Thanks for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to have you. So, Boom, if you're out there and you're watching right now, we know that you're going to contribute a heck of a lot to the clubs out there. And we're looking to see how Rangers are going to do this year. We know that you're close to that club there. We, of course, managed to catch up also with the Milton second side's captain and coach. Then we spoke to Mark Viljoen and Michael Wilson, who they strapped on the jersey on the day, so to speak, to play against the Cape Rugby side. So good stuff to at least have a team to play against and, of course, add entertainment to the crowd. Folks, I'm with Michael Wilson. He's the captain of Uramil second today. Good fun.
Yeah, very good fun. Cape Rugby came down. Great for the game of rugby. Nice running rugby, and that's what the people came out to come see, eh? Nice running rugby, Cape Rugby.
Was it like a bit of give you an idea of getting ready for the season as well? Were they useful at all?
Definitely getting ready for the season. Got a lot to work on for the boys. But at the end of the day, we got the victory at the end, and the boys stuck it through, eh?
You got quite a few fans shouting for you in the crowd there.
That's all the boys that started a little bit early on the third team. But hey, at the end of the day, it's rugby, eh? It's what we came down for.
Listen, it's been great chatting with you. Well done. Best of luck for the season.
Thank you very much, eh? And thank you very much to Cape Rugby, eh?
Folks, I'm with Mark Viljoen. He's the coach of Milton second side. Bit of a different game today, playing against a kind of a barbarian for the Cape Rugby side.
Yes, a different dynamic. Fantastic for the guys. Get a bit of exposure, and it was a good game.
The Cape Rugby guys tend to throw the ball around a little bit. Was that maybe a way of thinking, hang on, we must make sure of our defence? Was it useful at all?
Absolutely. When you're up against any barbarian side, they got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Ball's going to go, get a bit of air, and we had to be on our D today.
And so it's actually good practice for getting ready for the season.
Fantastic practice. Great fitness as well for the boys.
You got some great talent in your team there. You're looking forward to the season?
Yeah, very forward, and it's a very young side. So prospects for the first team as well.
There we go. Great day there of entertainment. Of course, you saw the highlights of the games. A number of games were being played on the day, and then, of course, the entertainment. And then the final game was the match, Primrose against Milnerton, and it was a good win for Primrose. And I think they're going to do exceptionally well in the league this year, playing in the new structure. So we look forward to seeing Primrose. And, of course, their first game is going to be up against Tygerberg in 2 weeks' time, when the league fixtures kick off finally, 2 or 3 weeks' time. That's not far away from it. We'll take an ad break, and then we're going to come to the actual meaning of what Ishmael Dolly and his team did on the day, and that was raise funds, food and clothing for the local community in Dunoon. We'll show you that straight after the break. So what was the Milnerton Rugby Day all about? It was about club rugby and clubs supporting the community. Now that's actually what club rugby is designed for. Club rugby isn't designed to build champions. Clubs originate from supporting the community, and that's exactly what Milnerton Rugby Club did on the day. And of course, it's probably one of the reasons why they were awarded the Club of the Year award by the city of Cape Town. Now, Ishmael Dolly and his team, and we've heard him do it before, is he asks the players that come on the day, and he asks the fans that come on the day to bring an item of clothing or a tin of food. And that was how it ended up, was Ishmael and his team handing over those items to the kids from Dunoon. Let's see what happened.
Folks, I'm here at Milnerton. It is the Milnerton Rugby Day. We've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now. I've just taken everybody by surprise because it is the handover. No stranger, of course, to Cape Rugby TV. And I'm going to get to these guys now. We've got the guys from Dunoon here, community on the other side of Milnerton. And with me is Nolene Oosthuizen and, of course, Ishmael Dolly. Ish, how are you?
All good, thanks, JP.
I'll take a mic away from Ish. Nolene, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
And the guys from Dunoon, how are you guys?
Good, man.
What's your name?
Bongani.
And yours?
Wonga.
And you?
Suki.
All right. And you guys all from Dunoon?
Yeah.
And you all play rugby?
Yes.
All right, so they all play rugby, they're all from Dunoon, and they're here today at the Milnerton Day. Okay, quickly, Ish, what are we doing now?
Well, this is just our way of giving back, making a difference in other people's lives, and I think that's what community sport's all about. If we take our goals and objectives, and if winning and losing is the only thing, then we're on the wrong path. We're here to make a difference in their lives, and this is our small part of giving back.
Nolene, how did you put it together?
We basically ask all the other teams to also bring cans or old clothing and stuff, and we're getting it all together so that we can hand it over to them individually for the special needs and wherever they are.
So basically everyone who's playing today and the fans and everyone just brought a ton of food or whatever. Okay, so guys, before we do the handover, and then I'm going to step out the way, let's take a look what we got. And this is how easy it is, all right? We've got here red speckled sugar beans from Brenco. We've got salt. We've got apricot jam. You guys, are you cooking already? Yeah. All right. We've got beans. We've got 2-minute noodles. We've got, what's this? Juice. We've got smoothie juice. And then there's clothes here as well. There's tog bags. There's an old Adidas tog bag. There's some rugby kit. Are you guys getting excited? Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to now step out the way. Guys, this is your gift from Milnerton. These are the folks that made it possible. I'm going to just turn around here. I'm going to ask Nolene and Ish to come into the picture. Yeah, you guys, there we go. All right.
It's a small part, there's still lots inside.
Okay, and of course, this, as Ish, as you just said, this is only just 2 of the barrels. There's 20, 30 more barrels inside of how Milnerton came together. So, guys, I don't know how you're going to actually give it over, but why don't you guys just put your hands in there and everyone just grab something? Come a bit closer to the camera. Like, seriously, take something out there and show us what you got. There we go. All right. Let me just ask you guys, I'm going to jump in front of you again here. Is this something that comes, is this something that you guys need at home?
Yes, man, definitely.
Tell us a little bit about Dunoon. It's a difficult neighborhood.
I can say it's not like difficult. Like Dunoon is like a location. Like there are too much drug abuse and all sorts of stuff. Like as we are playing a rugby here, we want to make a difference from other children who are in the community. That they can say a good example from us. And we are thanking Unimil for bringing such thing. It's making a big difference in our lives. Thank you.
Let me get in here, guys. Where does this go now? Who's gonna get this food?
My family.
Your family?
Yes, of course, man.
So your mom's gonna do a lot of cooking tonight.
Yes.
Are there a lot
to make them so excited tonight.
All right, guys. Clearly you can see that if I had to carry on with this conversation, it can carry on all night long because there's a lot of food here. Yes. Guys, fantastic stuff. Your passion for rugby is what connects you to to Milnerton, and so we hope to see you guys all play for the Springboks one day.
Yes,
All right,
definitely.
you can follow that man Ishmael Dolly's footsteps, and not only will be a good rugby player, you'll be a good person. So Ish, to you, well done, congratulations. Nolene, well done, guys, well done on supporting Milnerton, and we'll see you guys hopefully play for Milnerton, and as I said, Western Province in the box. And that's the camera there who's going to make you famous. All right, that's Cape Rugby TV, folks, backing community and the club rugby, and this is what it's all about. Incredible stuff that you can do just through the sport of rugby. See you after the break. There we go, folks. That's what it's all about. It is about giving back to the community. And if you're playing in a club, that's what you should be thinking about, is how do you support the club? How do you support the legacy of the club? And think about the people that came at that club before you. Otherwise, that club wouldn't be existing. And then think about who's going to come to the club after you. Mullies, we were at your launch of your jerseys the other day when you handed it over the Community Cup. Incredible legacy there. But those guys came from before. They're there still supporting the club. And you guys also at Hemmys, like many of the other clubs, you've got great community outreach projects.
Yeah, we do. We've run junior structures through the club now for a number of years. We reach out to schools in the area that don't offer after-school sport.
Yeah.
And the guys come in and they play in the school leagues, and we bus them in. The club, we're fortunate enough to have sponsors that provide that type of transport costs, and the guys come in and we just give them a mechanism to go out there and have a bit of fun on a Saturday and
play rugby.
And play rugby. And
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
I kept saying this. Imagine if we didn't have rugby. What would the tool be, the vehicle be for us to find an excuse to get together and then ignite these community opportunities. Anyway, we are running short on time, folks, but one of the guys that I spoke to at Dunoon, at least not at Dunoon, at Milnerton, but I think he's from Dunoon. He went to Bosmansdijk High School. His name's Kanya. We spoke to him on the side of the field, and we absolutely made his day, but more importantly, he made our day by just showing how much he loves rugby and he loves Milnerton. Let's catch up with Kanya on the side of the field.
Folks, I'm here with Kanya. He's playing for Bosmansdijk first team. We're at Milnerton today. Enjoy your rugby?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, but I had to come on second half because of a previous injury. I still came on, scored 3 tries, so I feel great.
You scored 3 tries today?
Yeah.
Scored 3 tries today, folks. The agents that are out there, if you're looking for talent. So Kanya, what position do you play?
8th man.
Are you playing for Bosmansdijk first team?
Yes.
And who did you guys play today?
We played Parklands College.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I actually played 3 games today.
You played 3 games already today?
Yes.
What position do you play?
I play 8th man.
Plays 8th man. He played 3 games today and he scored 3 tries. Oh man, I think we're going to see you in the blue and white hoops pretty soon.
Yeah,
if not the green and gold.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well done, Kanya. Well done, my man.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Here we go. Kanya, star in the making. All right, of course, folks, it helps if I don't ask him twice what position he played. He played 8th man, but I did think there was a small possibility that he might have played another position in one of the other games. Look out for Kanya. Kanya, if you're watching right now, we hope that your mom and dad's proud of you. You're doing a fantastic there in the world of rugby. Stick at it. We're sure you've got a lot of potential, so Kanya, go for it. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Community Cup fixtures, and then, of course, Super 15, we'll do our Super Brew selections. Back with you in a sec. Right, folks, of course, Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Now, if you want to train and play well in rugby, you need to, of course, train hard, play good, and recover well. That's the key. You cannot play again. You can't go to gym again if you haven't recovered from the last session. So, most importantly, what you need is you need to have a rapid recovery. This is for after your games and after your gym sessions and after your rugby matches, rapid recovery. And then also a good pre-workout. That gives you a little bit of energy. There you see on the back of the screen right now, that's the name that you're going to need to answer. And then, of course, a super carbo. So if you want to win for yourself the before, the during, and the after Evox Advanced Nutrition Hamper, all you need to do is SMS the answer, who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. SMS that answer to 33280. And congratulations there to David November. David walks away with the Evox Advanced Nutrition Hamper, the before, the during, and the after pack. So, yep, that's what you need to do is SMS the word Evox to 33280. 33280 on your cell phone right now. The keyword is Evox, and just tell us, well, that is the answer. I'm giving you the answer, actually. All right, the Community Cup was, of course, over the weekend. Let's quickly look at the results there from the Community Cup, the Cell C Community Cup. And, of course, Anton Moorman and his team doing so well there against Sishen. Hamilton's beating Sishen 48 points to 9. A lot of other clubs also doing well there. But, Mullies, you'll be happy to come away with that result.
Yeah, it was a great start to the tournament, and I'm really happy with where the boys are. Looking forward to the rest of it.
Yeah, so it's fantastic stuff, and we're looking forward to. You guys, who are you playing next?
We play Westbank out in Malmesbury this
that's
weekend,
of
so a
course
bit of a
this
local derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. They lost their first game, so it's going to be pretty much throwing the fridge at us.
You're not taking it lightly.
No, absolutely not. We need to keep our momentum going, and we want to make sure that we qualify for the playoffs up in George over Easter. So we need to keep on winning.
Also, this coming Saturday is, of course, the Community Shield, the Western Province against Boland Challenge. Let's take a look at the fixtures there. We see Tygerberg are up against the SK Warmers. Saldanha take on Ceres. And then in the Cup semi-finals, it's Durban against Villagers at Durbanville. And then Belhar take on Horston at Accordion Park. So make sure you get down there. Now let's take a look at the Super 15. In the Super 15, it was the Chiefs who came up trumps against the Stormers, 36 points to 20. The Rebels went on to the Crusaders 25-19. The Hurricanes was a win for them. The Highlanders at least lost to the Force. The Brumbies, it was a good win for them against the Waratahs 28-23. And the Lions, well, they shocked a lot of people, 39-36 against the Blues. And the Sharks, 35-20 against the Reds. Okay, gentlemen, of course, the Stormers could have come away with a win there. Rather disappointing. We were nearly in the mix. Morgs, I know a lot of people are still negative about the Stormers, but they can take something from that performance. Again, we show that we can make a comeback even when we've got a team that's depleted and full of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the Stormers can play the way they did, I mean, when they were down, if they can play like that for 80 minutes, then there's no reason why they can't turn their season around, and, when best to start, but against the Brumbies this coming weekend.
All right, let's take a look at the Super 15 fixtures, and I think we'll do our Super Brew predictions at the same time. It is the Highlanders, the Hurricanes, the Waratahs and the Rebels, the Blues and the Cheetahs. The Brumbies take on the Stormers, of course, home ground advantage for the Brumbies. Force and the Chiefs, the Lions, the Reds, the Bulls and the Sharks. Right, Morgs, let's start off with you then. As the Hurricanes are up against the Highlanders. Your prediction?
Hurricanes 3.
Willis, you interested in jumping in?
I'll go Hurricanes by 12.
Hurricanes by 12. That was my pick. There you go. There it is. Hurricanes by 12. You stole them. Did you look at my score sheet beforehand? All right. The Waratahs take on the Rebels. They're playing in Sydney. So, of course, it's going to be a home ground advantage for the
Waratahs?
The Waratahs, yeah. The Waratahs. I was trying to work out the Melbourne Rebels, of course, where they were from. Morgs?
Waratahs 7.
Waratahs by 7. Release. Anton?
I'm going to go with the Rebels away by 5.
So you're being a bit of a rebel that, and I think in this case, Morgan this time took a steal at my sheet. I'm going with the Waratahs by 7. The Blues take on the Cheetahs in Auckland, so if the Cheetahs play like they did last week, they're in for a hiding. Morgs?
Blues 8.
Anton?
Unfortunately, Blues by 20.
Okay. I think that the Cheetahs are going to make a bit of a comeback. I'm going to go with the Blues by 4. They're not going to make such a strong comeback. And then, of course, it's the Brumbies and the Stormers. They're playing in Canberra on Saturday at 25-11. Morgs?
Stormers are going to score some tries. Stormers 11.
Anton?
I'm going to go with the Stormers, but it will be close. I'm going to go 3 points.
You're going to go by 3. I'm going to go with the Stormers by 4. The Chiefs are, of course, up against the Force. They're playing in Perth, so it's a home ground advantage for the Force. Morgs?
Chiefs 10.
Chiefs by 10. Willies?
Chiefs 15.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs by 11. Then there's the Lions and the Reds. They're playing in Johannesburg. Of course, the Reds didn't do well against the Sharks. The Lions came away with a good win against the Blues over the weekend. Lions and the Reds. Morgs?
Oof, it's a tough one. Lions 2.
Lions by 2. Willies?
I'm going to go with the Lions by 11.
Lions by 11, and I'm going to go with the Reds by 5. Then the Bulls take on the Sharks, the final match of the weekend, 10:07 on Saturday. The Bulls and the Sharks playing in Durban. My prediction there is the Sharks are going to win by 7. Morgs?
Can I go with the draw?
You can go with the draw.
The Sharks have got great momentum. I think I'll stick with them comfortably by 8.
Comfortably by 8. Well, yep, I think that's a good call there. Let's take a look now at the results in our Super Group pool. A lot of fans have been playing there and having a lot of fun. Congratulations to Mushuman, stays in the top, and Murdoch, who jumps up 37 spots into second place. Stormer Brew, Wally Cully, Stefan Konman, Sonic Dash, Gil, and then you have myself in 10th place. Looks like I'm starting to take a bit of a, not a hiding just yet, but it didn't all go my way. Those little matches that go 1 point here and 1 point there. Morgan Newman, best of luck for the weekend. I know you guys are playing against West Bank, and it's going to be a lot of fans out there. Have a lot of fun.
Yep, looking forward to it.
And Mullis, well done on your victory against Sishan. I'm sure you guys are going to do well in the rest of the Community Cup as you fly the flag for Western Province.
Thanks, JP. The vital that we keep the momentum going, and I'm really confident that the guys can go out this Saturday and pull it through.
Yeah, and then of course, best of luck to Chris Rousseau and Kevin Musikhunter as go head-to-head in the FNB Varsity Cup this coming Monday at UCT. That's a wrap from us. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.